and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I am a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we are talking about relieving stress. Hey,
Janine. Hey, Shannon, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I've been stressed out lately, but I'm delighted to have learned some stress relief techniques, and I'm looking forward to learning what you have to say about it.
Oh, well, I hope I have something useful to add to the conversation.
Shannon, you always have something useful. Always. To any conversation.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're experiencing a lot of stress right now.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's just really busy work-wise, and that's great, right? And I want to help people, but a lot of people need help at the same time, and some staffing issues and so on and so forth, and travel and family, and but luckily everyone's healthy. At least I'm not dealing with health issues. That kind of stress really is no fun.
Yeah. We got a little of that going on at my house.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't mean to rub anything in your face, Shannon.
I was like, wait, are you teeing that up for me, or did you forget that
I forgot.
My husband just had surgery?
I totally forgot, because it's all about me, Shannon.
Although this is a very temporary thing. He had ankle surgery. He's having the same surgery that I had 3 years ago, except for they've improved it, so his recovery will be much speedier than mine was.
Well, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, so that relieves a little stress up front. Just reminding myself it's temporary.
Right.
Like, how do you know when you're stressed?
Oh, that's an interesting question. When I'm really stressed, I feel like my head's going to explode. And it's not that anger. I don't get angry. Well, I do get angry. Of course, everyone gets angry. But I also feel like my head's going to explode when I'm angry. But actually, it's more like, maybe it's like my heart's going to explode. Like, I actually feel, I think my blood pressure go up. And also I feel tension in my back and my neck. And, I've had a lot of pain in my back and neck recently, unrelated to stress, and it's different, right? It's a different kind of, tension. That's how I think that's where I feel it most. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and my brain
sense.
Feels foggy too. I mean, my brain doesn't. When I'm really stressed, I don't think as clearly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the symptoms, like for sort of more chronic stress. Like if it's an acute situation, then I can be like super focused and just get things taken care of. But if it's kind of it's more of a slow boil, chronic kind of stress, I feel like I get foggier and overwhelmed and just kind of tend to go more on the side of shutting down than feeling overwhelmed, I guess.
Yeah, which doesn't really probably help.
No, not when you're feeling like you have a lot of stuff that you need to take care of.
Right. Yeah, but I went to this talk today, NAPO St. Louis, National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals. We had our monthly meeting, and we had a fantastic talk from a woman named Kathy Willis, who works for, I will put in the show notes who she works for. Lewis and Clark is in the name of the, because she's in Illinois, and it's at the beginning of Lewis and Clark's journey, and it's a workplace solutions kind of place. They teach classes and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And she gave us this really great talk in which the bulk of it was simple stress relieving techniques that I intend to reread and reread till it's internalized. And,
Right.
But a lot of it had to do with breathing and so forth, and and we practiced some of them, and it was very familiar from yoga. So yoga, I think, definitely helps me with stress, the breathing, and so forth. But one of the things that she said that was really the sort of the foundation that I'll share here is, she said, when you're faced with an issue that's stressing you out, she gave us what she called a stay or go stress assessment tool. So about the issue, you ask yourself 3 things. 1, is this issue important to me? 2, is it something I can change? And 3, is it something I want to change? And if you say yes to all 3, then you stay and you deal with it. But if you say no to any of them, then she said, go away from it, either emotionally, psychologically, physically. And she talked about techniques on all of those for both staying and going.
Oh, interesting.
But those 3 questions, those are good ones.
Yeah, those are really good questions. And I think it's really good to acknowledge the idea of either recognizing that there's something that you can change, and recognizing when there isn't anything you can change.
Right, because they absolutely require different responses.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And, part of what why stress is so uncomfortable and why it's so problematic, from a health standpoint, is that it is creating this physiological change in your body. It's creating a fight or flight response, and that's why breathing is so effective, is because that helps calm down your nervous system.
That's right. Yes. So it really truly is so effective.
Yeah.
And she talked about coupling deep breathing with counting either up or down to 10 very slowly, and exhaling when you say the number to yourself, and visualizing the numeral as you're doing it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And that by doing that, she said, you're, as you said, calming the nervous system, ratcheting down the cortisol, and helping yourself stay calm, which, oh my gosh, I just felt such relief hearing it and doing it we practiced it a couple of times during the hour we were with her. And she also mentioned the really importance of hydration for relieving stress.
Yeah, it's that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about, is just some basics like making sure that you're drinking enough water, and making sure that you're eating healthy foods on a regular basis. I think it's easy for people to either not eat or to eat things that don't make them feel good, that aren't very nourishing when they're under stress, and to sleep. I know that's easier said than done.
You're saying it's important to get good sleep when you're stressed. Okay, right. Yeah. And that is so hard for so many people. I mean, it's really hard. That's why some of these techniques can be really helpful.
Right.
It occurs to me we should do a whole episode. We could do a whole episode potentially on hydration, because I feel like it's so hard logistically to get in the amount of water that I probably need.
Right.
Yeah.
It is, and I have some tricks for that.
Oh, excellent. Let's do that next.
Yeah, but it taking care of those basic things can make a huge difference, and moving your body can be a huge stress relief or release. So burning off that sort of the extra energy that cortisol release causes can be super helpful. So that might mean jumping up and down in place, doing some jumping jacks. It could be one of the things that I like to do is put my hands out in front of me parallel to the floor, so bent at the elbow, and then raise my knees so they hit my hands.
Oh,
If that makes sense.
I can picture that.
And it's, so you're not jumping around, but you're sort of burning off a little energy.
Oh, that's excellent. I like that mental image you've given. We could do a video of yourself doing that, and we can put it in the show notes. I'm always trying to get you to do it.
You are always trying to get me to do a video.
And we've talked about in the past yoga with Adrian. Adrian's knocking on heaven's door, where you're just sort of twisting and whacking your butt.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. One thing that Kathy Willis said that I thought was really interesting is if you're feeling mentally stressed, or if you're feeling physically stressed, then do some mental exercises, a crossword puzzle, Sudoku, Quordle, whatever. And if you're feeling mentally stressed, then doing physical exercise is helpful.
Oh, that's a great little differentiation there.
Yeah, I thought that was
distinction. And it makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't want to, if you're feeling mental, emotional stress, you don't want to work your brain more.
Right.
That's really, I like that.
Yeah.
But there's all these different kinds of techniques that can help you relieve stress once you're experiencing it. And then I also want to talk for just a few minutes about relieving stress ahead of time, how reducing stress in your life. And noticing the things that happen regularly in your life that contribute to stress, and examining it to see if there's a way that you can change that so it doesn't feel stressful, whether that means that you eliminate it from your life, you handle it a different way, you delegate it, something happens so that you don't feel the same level of stress about it.
Yeah, so you're saying not necessarily eliminating those stressors in your life, but changing the way those things affect you.
Right.
Yeah. So do you have techniques for that?
Well, something that I was just experiencing was feeling a lot of stress about how my husband was handling his recovery, his convalescence. And it was very stressful to me that he was being more active than I thought he should be. And that seems very legitimate to me. And also, it was just causing me so much internal stress. I had a little talk with myself, and I realized, I have no control over him. I can offer him advice, and he's going to do what he's going to do. So recognizing that I don't really have any control there has really reduced the amount of stress that I was feeling.
Oh, that's great, because it would be very easy to then start feeling resentful that someone's not taking your advice.
Right.
You're concerned about him, and then you're annoyed that he's not taking your advice, when in fact the healthy thing for you to do was to recognize that, try to let it go, and know that he'll pay whatever consequences, or maybe he won't.
And that was the thing I realized was you know what? He may just be fine. He may actually make it worse, and this is going to take him longer to recover from, or he may be fine. I don't know. I don't have control over it.
Right.
So, I can see what is reasonable, and I can offer advice or ideas, and then let him take care of it. It's his deal.
Right. That's good. That's excellent. And that can be applied to so many things, right?
Right.
Because it's like that old serenity prayer.
Yes.
Those things that we can't control, there's no point in stressing out about it. That's getting back to what Kathy said about recognizing, is this something that's important to me, or, is it something that's important to somebody else?
Right.
And can I change it? Well, if not, no, try not to get involved or get so stressed out about it. Yeah, that's good. Got any other things up your sleeve? Or maybe talking it out or writing it out. At least for me, I'll just write what I'm feeling, and that will help. Or I'll call you.
Yeah. Well, I think managing your expectations is really important. That sort of, like we were just talking about, understanding what's in your control, and then understanding that, you have to, what am I trying to say? As a perfectionist, everything doesn't have to be done the way you think it needs to be done. Like releasing yourself from that perfectionism and being kind to yourself. And that can lower sort of your general stress level. So then when these acute situations come up, they're easier to manage. You're not already at this like sort of this high baseline level of stress, and so acute thing comes and it really ratchets you up there quickly. It's like, you're down here, your default is like little to no stress, and so when you have something acute, it's still very manageable.
Rather than piling on top of high stress, already existing high levels of stress.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think about, I think we've talked in past episodes about how our expectations of others, people who have perfectionistic tendencies, sometimes expect perfect from others, and that can be very disappointing and stress-inducing. And, getting a handle on that and managing to not expect perfection from those around you or from yourself can definitely help you experience less stress. And also know that there's no perfect way to handle stress.
Right. And, what works for you today may not work tomorrow. And so having, all these different tools available to you is really helpful. Yeah.
I will say I listen to probably at least once a week Adrienne's yoga meditation for stress relief. It's the greatest.
Yeah.
I fall asleep to it a lot. Puts me out, puts me to sleep right away. And shows I choose to let go is in there a lot.
That's a good one.
I'll put a link to it in the show notes.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point, that a lot of what feels stressful is thinking that you don't have a choice, that you're stuck, and recognizing that you do have a choice. That even if your choices are things that you don't want, just recognizing that you do have choices can relieve some of the stress.
Right. If we look hard enough, we can recognize that.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah. So we would love to hear from you, our listeners. How do you relieve stress? You can let us know on Facebook or Instagram at Getting to Good Enough, on Twitter at GTG Enough. You can head over to the show notes at gettingtogoodenough.com and leave a comment, or you can leave a message at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. Until next time, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you.
I found the name of the place where Kathy Willis works. She's the Director of Workforce Education Solutions and Safety Training at Lewis and Clark Community College.
Oh, wow. Good job.
Thanks.